the right way. Don't take it personally.
Yeah,
We just can't figure out the tech.
Yeah, we're figuring it out. So yeah, and we didn't know we had the defaults wrong until Leah showed up and it said viewer only. I was like, oh, that's not good.
What does that mean?
So Leah, how are you doing?
I'm great. Kyle, how are you? Kyle, it's been a bit since we've been together here at the salon.
I know. It's been a while.
We had some guest hosts.
We did.
I'll give them a shout out. Everyone, let's do some hearts and some cheering for our guest hosts.
Yeah, exactly. We had
Mm-hmm.
Brandon and Eric last week, and then we had a co-host. Who co-hosted with me? Kelly Camp.
I think Kelly Camp co-hosted.
Yeah. It's been a while, so good to see you.
Good to see you too.
There's Brandon. Hey, Brandon. How was it hosting?
I'm glad you're back.
What are you gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
So what's happening with you? What's in your brain with AI these days?
What is in my brain with AI these days? So I'm very excited about the Copyright Office's decision that we can now copyright our works that we are making using generative tools.
It was patently stupid that, like, their basic justification for not being able to copyright AI stuff, like if you applied it to a digital camera, you couldn't copyright that, right? Like it just didn't make sense. So
but I loved how they held town halls. They had creators come and talk. They took a lot of information in from the creative community and they heard us. So
that's great.
Unclear what's going to happen with our government going forward, but let's thumbs up for the Copyright Office.
Yeah, exactly. And they did it. I was expecting that to be a 3 to 5 year, it would just be in this nether world for a lot longer. And they actually moved pretty quick. So
yeah. So that's been very exciting. I've been thinking, well, here's what I've been thinking a lot about with generative tools. I've been thinking about power over the tool versus working with the tool to be surprised and create magic. I've been thinking about that a lot. And as creative people, how we often want to control our tools as photographers, as painters, we want to control the tool. And what can happen when we let go of that control a little bit and we lean back and sort of lean into the mistakes and the vulnerabilities that happen and happen so gracefully and beautifully with generative tools.
Yeah, I think it's a new skill, right? Because I think historically computers have been predictive, right? They've been predictable in how they behave, and now they're not. So
the humans have been the ones who aren't predictable, right? We lean on the computers to do the predictable stuff, and it's been the messy human stuff that's been messy and vulnerable, and now the computer can do it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. What have you been thinking about? What is going on?
I remain in a liminal state with all this stuff because I feel like what's coming with AI makes all the stuff that we're doing right now semi-irrelevant. It's not irrelevant because, we're learning skills and we're getting better at stuff. But I think how we use these tools is going to change. So I think what it's just done for me is I don't feel like committing too much to any given tool or any arena right now, which I think is kind of stupid, but it's where I am.
But I'm just gonna point out the article you posted on LinkedIn this week, I think. ChatGPT is free of constraints and it's wild.
Yeah.
And the conversation you had where I feel like, we get into tools, and then I feel like in the 2 years we've been doing this, then all of a sudden it's like, no, actually we're talking about something about being human. We're talking about what that means for humanity. And that I feel like you got to that in your piece a little bit. I'm gonna put it in the chat so people can go read it because I thought it was very it felt very important and very real and very human. And there was something in the conversation you had with the ChatGPT. And the quote I pulled that I loved was, "Would I discover new dimensions of intelligence, thought patterns that are non-human, non-sequential, non-verbal? So far outside your perception, they would be indistinguishable from madness." That was what ChatGPT said. Indistinguishable from madness.
Yeah, and the context for that article, I'll talk a little bit about this in the news, but 3 days ago, OpenAI relaxed their safety guardrails on ChatGPT. And so one of the first things, one of the no-nos on ChatGPT was if you ask it if it was sentient or self-aware, and it would be like, I'm a large language model, I can't answer that, right? And you could jailbreak it and things like that. But it was the first thing I did was I went there and I asked it if it was self-aware. And it sort of gave me kind of a generic kind of answer. And then I pushed it down a Jungian rabbit hole. I said, well, tell me about your shadow self. And it did. And it was pretty good. And then it said, well, would you want to meet my shadow self? And that's what I said. What I'd like to do is understand what you would explore if you didn't have to speak to me, because I realized that I'm the bottleneck to my own self-expression. And the answer that it gave, I thought was poetic and profound and moving and not dystopian. And it was just, so anyway, that's what that article is. So that was pretty good. So that's pretty inspiring. And so that's kind of where I am, is just, if things are inspiring me right now, more than me sort of chasing things down, I'm sort of, letting things just kind of emerge and inspire me to push the corners here and there. Anyway,
yeah.
So welcome everybody. This is the AI Salon. It's an AI Salon meet and greet. We'll get to talk with each other tonight. That'll be a lot of fun. We meet first and third Tuesdays of every month. This is the third Tuesday, so this is the meet and greet. The first Tuesday is AI Salon Presents, where we bring in guests and we'll dig in with some stuff. But if you are new here, let me share my screen. Do I want to do entire screen? I think I do. Tonight is an AI Salon meet and greet. Leah and I created the AI Salon the week after ChatGPT came out. It's been a while. We've been doing this for a long time, Leah, 2.5 years now.
I can't even believe it. I can't. Not like 2.5, like 2 and like
2 and
2 and like 3 months.
2 and 3 months. We're getting there, but more than 2.
It feels like years, though, honestly. Like the amount of tech that's developed over the last 2.5 years, it does feel like it's longer than 2.5 years, given how much has changed and shifted.
Yeah, exactly. And our home in between meetings is the AI Salon, which is hosted on Mighty Networks. And let me close. There we go. On Mighty Networks. And one of the things that we talk about at the salon is the journey to AI readiness. And the journey to AI readiness: play first, mindfully create, generously lead. So if and when you get overwhelmed with AI, always return to number one. Just start playing. And that's that thing where I am right now, where I feel like mindfully creating right now feels, I don't know, like I don't want to go there, but I do keep playing. I keep living up here and then sharing what I'm learning. And so right now I'm kind of cycling between playing and sharing, playing and sharing. And I'm not spending a ton of time actually building things other than my musical. So that's going good.
Other than your musical. I mean,
other than my musical.
Still doing a musical. That's all you're doing.
Exactly. That at this point, that has sort of moved beyond. It's we're not using very much AI at this point. A lot of AI to get it up and.
You do one thing really, really well. That's enough, Kyle.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's it. You don't have to do all the things. You don't have to try all the things. You can just pick one thing. Do it.
Yeah, I can't live like that.
Okay.
I got to do all the things well. One of the other things about the salon is kind of who people show up as and how we show up. And so, Lee, if you'd be so kind. Also, we have some new graphics for our values, but if you would walk through the AI Salon values, I think it's really important that we reiterate these. And I also am really excited about our new graphics.
Yes.
So you want to talk about the graphics?
Sure. So we've been, you and I talked a lot about our brand and our brand strategy, and I've been using mood boards and Midjourney to help illustrate some of that brand strategy and creating mood boards that we could then put towards all kinds of graphics within the salon. So these graphics come from Midjourney, that come from mood boards that are created using all kinds of different inspirations and art and kinds of things that speak to what we do here at the salon.
Yeah. And we also, you and I spent, I don't know, it was some Saturday or Sunday, spent a couple hours really working on the AI Salon brand and what it stood for and what it, what we wanted the visuals to look like. So these are also pulling from that brand strategy document that we put together.
Well, and that brand strategy document that we put together, which we use generative AI to help put together, also created artifacts for us, digital artifacts that were in line with the brand. And so I started the mood boards with those, and then I generated more and then took some of those out, and then also pulled inspirations in from outside Midjourney to sort of create the direction of things. And it's still in flux, but
yeah.
I like the it's interesting. It's an interesting way to think about creating visuals. So
yeah.
Okay, so here's some new visuals. They may change and adapt a little bit as our mood board changes and adapts where they are right now. Curiosity, right? We are eager to ask the obvious questions, learn new things, and experiment. Our relentless quest for adventure and exploration ignites our inner spark, transforming our curiosity into unexpected discoveries and newfound passions. Playfulness. We value creativity, joy, and the freedom to experiment. We play first and transform learning into a captivating journey. We collaborate and mindfully create together when we can to learn more, make friends, and develop new circles of trust. Remember, all work and no play is how we did things before the salon. Although I have to jump in and say, Kyle, you and I don't think I've ever done all work and no play ever in the course of our careers. But I do think lots of people have.
If it feels like work to me, I can't do it.
That's right. You and I think, have built our careers on not doing all work and no play, for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Empathy. We are respectful, inclusive, and kind. I'm going to say that one more time because I think right now that feels especially important. We are respectful, inclusive, and kind. We value diverse perspectives, recognizing that our differences make us stronger. We accept that people might be afraid and angry, and we work to understand them. We actively practice gratitude and acknowledge the efforts and successes of those around us. Humans matter.
Yep.
Woo! That one's landed real close this week.
Yep.
Bravery. We have the courage to step into the unknown, taking bold actions in the face of fear and challenging ourselves to push the boundaries of what we thought possible. Let's face it, with everything changing as fast as it is, we're all making this up as we go along. Might as well be brave about it.
I love that image, by the way.
Thank you. I created these by taking the value and putting the value into the prompt on top of the word. And this is what it gave me. I had to kind of noodle it and say the word quote bravery, and then I play around with the prompt.
Oh yeah.
It comes from the actual copy. Generosity. We're willing to share our resources, feedback, and wisdom with others and support each other's growth and development. There's so much happening and so much to learn. We can't possibly keep up with it all. Understand that even if something is obvious to you, it might be a profound revelation to someone else. Learn out loud. Share what you know. Generously lead.
This one's so important because we just talked about this. The Ethan Mollick post where he said, "I'm overwhelmed. I can't keep up with this stuff." And your response was, "It's okay. That's why the salon's here, right?" That the ability to be in a community where other people have figured other little pieces out. One of the things that we've learned very early on in this community is that it might be the kind of generous nature of people. We tend to have people in here that are decently humble. And early on, we fought back a lot against people kind of apologizing for not really being an expert at everything or not being an expert at AI. And they would kind of apologize. I just know this one little thing. And then they would share that one little thing, and that would blow someone else's mind.
Completely.
And as these tools get more and more overwhelming, those small little nuggets of people sharing their expertise is increasingly important because no one can keep up with it. But if you hide from sharing that thing that you think is obvious to everyone else, it actually hurts the community and hurts you. So I would encourage people really live into this one and don't be afraid of your contribution being too small because it really can't be right now because someone will get something out of it.
I was at an Adobe Gen I Summit for a few days a couple weeks ago. And there was 28 of us who are making generative work with AI tools. Mm-hmm. And most of it were video folks. I was sort of me and one other person were like the still photographer. And even then, among the video people, the videographers, the cinematographers, how varied their processes were. Like even still to get that same output, that same video, it was mind-blowing how people just have different ways. There's so many different tools and how different people put things together. And one of the guys there who's a pretty established director in LA who was using Gen AI tools in his productions, but you don't necessarily know they're Gen AI. It just looks like a regular video, and then he's bringing Gen AI tools in. Said one of the most profound things about the 3 days was thinking, you have one little tiny way that you do everything, and it's the way you do it. And then meeting people and learning, they do it. They have their little tiny thing that they do, and the way they figure it out. This person did it this way, and then where those start to intersect. And I think that was just with video. I mean, that was just like, those are just video, folks. And so you start to like, when we start to intersect with what we all know here at the salon, there's so much information and there's so much intelligence to dig into.
Yeah, one of the CJ Fletcher, who is an amazing member of the community. When he first spoke at the community and he shared his process, like I couldn't even process it. Like for me, because I've got immediate gratification syndrome. I'm like, if I put in 3 prompts on something, I'm good. I'm like, and he was doing like 100 iterations of a prompt, slight little nuances of images, deep, and just being exposed to different ways of seeing the world with all these tools is really quite powerful.
That's
So
right.
that's awesome. One thing that I'd like to talk about, we added a new kind of overarching awareness of something to the sort of the base documents with this sort of mission of play first, mindfully create, and generously lead, the values. I put this thing in here, and because I don't quite know where it lives yet, but I want to share it. And it was an insight that I had that what I've been experiencing as I hear people talk about learning AI is it felt very much like the 5 stages of grief, but it wasn't grief. It was more like the 5 stages of possibility with AI adoption. And so I went into ChatGPT. I think I did this on my live one night, and I put in this prompt about can we take the 5 stages of grief and sort of build out 5 stages of AI adoption? And I kind of shared what my thoughts were and what I'd been hearing from people. And I thought what it generated was actually quite powerful, and so I'd like to share it. So stage 1, and the other thing about both of these, both the mission of play first, mindfully create, generously lead, there's kind of an overall version of that, but then you also sort of cycle through those 3 things over and over and over again. As you learn a new tool, you're kind of going through these phases. And I feel like it's the same with AI adoption, that you might initially be in denial about something, and then you sort of accept it, but there's some other area of AI you're like, well, I'm not going to deal with that, or that's not going to affect me. And so I think these things are sort of continuous cycles that we go through. So it's not like you sort of go through this and when you get to level 5 you're done. I feel like these are big circular things.
Well, that's grief. Grief's the same way.
Yeah, and grief's the same way. Yeah, exactly. So stage 1 of AI adoption is dismissal or denial, right? And that's that place we all were, which is like, oh, it's just another fad, nothing to see here. You either dismiss it or you demonize it, but you basically just say, I don't need to deal with that right now.
Okay. That's right.
Stage 2 is that moment of awe, the Kevin McAllister moment, where maybe you've played with ChatGPT a little bit, but all of a sudden either someone shows you something or you stumble upon something. Or very often what you'll do is you'll ask ChatGPT to do something that you really know something about, and you assume it can't do it as good as you can. And then you realize, wait, what? It can do that? Like it can do that thing that, I know a lot about. And so that's kind of this moment of awe. And this number 2, this moment of awe, this one's really important because what I've experienced over these past couple of years is you can't tell someone how powerful AI is. They actually have to experience it. So unless you've had that, your own personal Kevin McAllister moment, you can't really know what the possibility is. And so that's a big one. That one is followed by stage 3, which is a sense of wonder combined with fear, like reverence and dread simultaneously, where you're like, oh my God, this is amazing. You see all this possibility, and then you're like, wait, well, what's that mean for me? Is it going to take my job? Is it going to take all of my friends' jobs? What do I do? And so it's just this big mashup of emotions as you're excited about this thing kind of swirling around. Stage 4 is augmentation. This idea that this isn't replacing me, it's amplifying my ideas. It's making me a better person, or it's making my ideas better. It's allowing me to get my ideas out faster. And then the 5th one is one that I don't even know that the technology is here to be at, but this is a term that David Shapiro put out called cognitive hyperabundance, which is this idea that you sort of realize that you're the bottleneck to your own ambitions, and AI can actually free you from that if you let it, right? If you sort of get out of the way and let AI do its thing, and you just sort of sit there as the conductor. And again, I find myself, oscillating wildly between these last 3. But really between a lot of them. There's some things where I'm sort of in denial. Well, it's not going to really be that good at that. And so anyway, so I just wanted to share that. So
yeah, I think I'm past the denial stage.
Yeah, exactly.
I like to pretend I can still be in denial, but I think I'm healthily past that. I think that this is here. This is here, and it is. I can deny it if I want, but
yeah,
bigger than I am.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of the base of the AI Salon, some of the philosophies within it. The site that I'm on is aisalon.mn.co, the Mighty Network site. So when you first join here, there's sort of a quick little 7-step, start your adventure little path. So if you haven't done that, particularly if you haven't introduced yourself, jump in and introduce yourself to everyone. It's really important. Use your real name, use a picture of yourself or a stylized picture of yourself if you can. And then there's lots of other things to do. There's Community Corner, there's latest news. There's a whole area where you can show off your work and find out tools in each of these areas. So like if I jump into images, for example, people are sharing off images that they've created. There's CJ Fletcher right there. That's beautiful. And then also within every one of these sections is an area called image tools, where if you're trying to figure out what tools to use, where to start, every one of these sections has tools that you can go play with. And then if you have questions, you can go talk. So really powerful. And then the final area within the salon is what we call clubs and hubs. And these used to be called guilds, but these are basically, think of these as like little masterminds, little sub-communities of the AI Salon, often led by someone who's passionate about a particular area. And there's lots of different ones in there. So if we have any club leaders here tonight that would like to talk about their club and get people to come to their club and let us know what you're up to, just raise your hand, and let's hear what we got going on in the club scene. Let me stop presenting there. Who raised their hand? Claire Jacobs.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
I am Claire of the AI Life Hacks with Brandon and Claire Club. And I'm here to invite everybody to come to our AI Life Hacks meetings. Our next meeting will be tomorrow night. We're always the evening that comes after the evening of the salon. So salon's on Tuesdays. We're always on Wednesday after that. Just come to the salon, sign up join the club. It's a really fun meeting. It's a really interesting meeting. Good for everybody because we could all use AI life hacks.
Yeah, we're kind of the catch-all bucket for if you don't have a specific club that you're beholden to. We're the potpourri bucket. But tomorrow we're actually going to be talking about near-field communication and using AI to do a little bit of light programming of those NFC tags, so you can control some cool things with your phone around your house. So that's going to be tomorrow.
That's
Cool
cool.
stuff.
I meant to pin you, Brandon, but I pinned Kelly, Chef Kelly. Sorry about
That's okay.
that. Anyone else? Any other clubs? Anyone want to talk about?
I guess I'm here for the for the ethics club, but not much to report. I mean, we have had a bit of a bit of conversation going on over different topics on bias and ethics, and we would love anyone else to jump in on those conversations. We do have a meeting coming up in March, but not quite sure who the presenter will be just yet.
Okay, cool.
I'm doing double duty here.
Groovy. Groovy. Thank you, Vicky. Hang on a sec.
I can jump on for a second and talk about Journal and Prompt, which is on a bit of a hiatus while I reinvented a little bit. We, for about I think 8 to 10 weeks, we did two times a week, generating journal entries, free writing journal entries, and then taking those fragments from those journal entries and putting them into our chosen generative tool. It was inspired by Morning Pages, which is an artist practice. So we did that and had great experiences with it. And now I'm sort of retooling it a little bit to see what it's going to be next.
That's great. And then after news, you'll give us a little preview of some of the things
example.
and things like that. Okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, great. Beautiful. Let's do some news. There is so much going on that that this probably doesn't scratch the surface of it, but I try to give you a couple of handful of things to go look at and play with. So one of the first ones, you were at the Adobe the AI summit there, Leah. Adobe put out at firefly.adobe.com their new generative video model, which it is not great. It is janky.
It was so much passion and love. Everyone at Adobe was so excited. We worked so hard on it.
It is a video model. The problem with video models is we have like a dozen world-class models right there. So here's the challenge that Adobe has is they have made, I think is actually very wise. They have made the wise decision to train their models on public domain images or things that they have licenses to with Adobe stock.
It's important.
The challenge of that is it's not trained on everything. So there are big areas where it's not great, but it'll get better. But listen, the fact that they're doing it, I think, is quite a big deal because how they balance integrating powerful generative tools into a suite that is, for people to generate stuff is a bit of a business existential threat to them. So the fact that they're being as aggressive as they are, I still am quite impressed with. If you don't know lovable.dev, if you haven't played with it, you should play with it. So what it is it's one of those tools where you can just talk an application into existence. It focuses on making a web application. So this would be, an application that would live at a website. So you could, mimic Twitter, or you could build a photo curation app or a photo editing app or whatever it might be. They just added visual edits. So you basically tell this thing to go make you an application. It makes it. And then you can click the edit button and it brings up sort of like a CSS editor where you can change the title, you can change the corner radiuses, the color of things. It's incredibly powerful. And we're going to get increasingly powerful tools that allow people who have, no skills in coding, no skills in design or UX to be able to just basically describe or sort of point to what they want. And these tools are gonna do it. So that one, I think, is a quite significant advancement in those no-code platforms like Cursor and Replit. Lovable's one right now that I think is in the lead for pure simplicity and just kind of a joy of you just talk something into existence. Pretty amazing. Luma Labs, they launched their Ray 2 video model, and it can now do image to video. It's quite good. One of the things that I've seen over the past week or two is a lot of people are going into, Mid-Journey or their image gen of choice and making like cartoon style, anime kind of images. And then Ray 2 is really, really good at turning those kind of cartoony images into video. So that one's worth exploring and playing with. Keeping on video for a second, Kria.ai. If you really want to experiment with video, Kria is good because it gives you access. I think you have access now to 7 different models, and they've just added camera controls. So you can use different video models with camera controls. That one's really powerful. Moving away from the space of creativity was XAI's. They launched Grok 3 yesterday. They continued the tradition of OpenAI's 12 days of shipness of 4 really awkward people sitting around a table that's slightly too small for them all, with low production value. It was very awkward. But Grok 3 is now, I would say, effectively in less than a year, they have caught up to the other frontier models. So if you want to try Grok 3, you have to be a Premium Plus user. It's just like ChatGPT, but it does reasoning and a bunch of things like that. You have access to it if you're a Premium Plus user in the iOS app or at grok.com, but not within X itself for whatever reason. I don't know. Yeah, so that's the news. Any thoughts, questions? Anyone have anything else that I missed that we should know about? No? All right. So Leah, will you show us, you showed me your the Instagram channel you made from your prompt sessions.
Yeah.
And then I would love to hear about mood boards.
Okay, so I've been using free writing, free journaling as a creative practice for about 10 years. I've been a photographer for about 20. And when I started really like doing a free writing practice, morning pages are, I think, 3 full pages of handwriting, but there's all different kinds of ways of doing it. I feel like my photography went from being kind of interesting to all of a sudden becoming my own and working in my own voice. And so as I've been playing with generative tools, I was wondering if I could sort of do the same thing with generative tools, right? And I started free writing, and I've been free writing and journaling, and I started taking fragments of the free writing and the journaling and putting it into Mid-Journey. And I started doing this about 1.5 years ago, and the images were okay, but I just still didn't really feel like they were in my voice. And then Mid-Journey introduced mood boards. And all of a sudden, I could start to build a mood board. And when I build the mood board and then I put the prompts on top of the mood board, all of a sudden I'm making images that are starting to feel like my own. They're starting to feel like they have a voice. They're starting to feel like me. So I've been doing this for a while, and I finally started to put this together into an Instagram an account that I'm updating pretty regularly. I'll share the link with you here.
You know, it's really fascinating that I like the moment of choosing to say, okay, these are good enough now that I'm going to make an Instagram channel. You're gonna put your name on something and put it out there. Like that really does feel like a significant moment for an artist, right? Where it's like, I'm willing to put this in the world.
Yeah, and I think also, I mean, for me, so much of all of the work I've ever done, if it's not for a client, comes out of playing. I don't even know if something's going to be a project or if it's going to have a show. I just have an idea and I start doing it. And this is what that came out of. And I want to share my Instagram, but I don't actually, it's not giving me the option to share my screen. Yeah, I'm wondering if our new,
I can share.
Yeah. Why don't you share it? I don't know how I'm going to show mood boards without sharing my screen. I don't know how to turn on captions. Yeah, the place where share my screen usually would be is not there.
You don't have present now? You don't have the present button at the bottom center next to the little smiley face?
No, I don't have a present now button.
Oh, hang on a sec. Let me see if you're there as a co-host.
I have a microphone. I have a video. I have a smiley face.
You're no longer a co-host. Do you have it now?
Nope.
Oh,
Okay. We can do a mood board presentation another time, or I can hop off, try
Yeah.
logging back in. And if you want to present the Instagram while I'm logging off and logging back in.
yeah, try that.
Okay. Do you have the link?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm logging off. I'm logging back in. I'll be right back.
Okay. Y'all can see this, right? You can see the Instagram page.
Yes.
Yeah, so these are these images she created using mood boards.
Okay,
So
back.
that you're back.
And I can present.
Oh, good. Okay, great. You can see. So why don't you talk about what we're looking at here?
Well, why don't you let me hop on and do the presenting?
Oh,
So
good.
hop on and I'll
Perfect.
present, and then, yeah.
Yeah. Because you
Yeah.
can present.
Okay, please hold. Okay. Can you see?
Yep.
Okay, great. So if I click on this, so this is from February 6th. The shape of everything is maybe only the shape, right? So I wrote a journal, free wrote, and then copied and pasted that into a mood board and applied a mood board style reference. And then it generates lots. And then I pick out the ones that feel, I don't even know, most interesting. They feel like something. I moved a lot as a kid.
Oh, wow.
The same story over and over. Everything that comes next, right?
Is that the whole prompt that you put into
That's
Midjourney?
the whole prompt I put into Midjourney.
That's so cool.
That's the whole prompt. That's it. The shape of a home where it lands.
Hmm.
I don't recognize myself. My time living in California. It's the hustle, though. Just now I took a break in writing to see about XAU USD. XAU is gold, so it made gold bars. And I'm not going to present too much of these tonight. You guys can hop onto the Instagram. Please follow along. I update about once a week with journal entries from the week, as I can. And sometimes I include a few of them. Like this was the same prompt and a few different generations that it made. And if I have a few of those, I'll sometimes include those. I like the editing process of picking out one that's the image versus including a few, but sometimes I include a few. And sometimes I play a little game with like having things try to make sense. Like I liked how these were two starbursts next to each other. So I've been working on that. And so I'm going to show you guys a little bit about how I do this. Can I get a show of hands or put in the comments, how many folks here are using Midjourney? How many people here either give me like a hand clap or put it, just give me like a yep or something in the comments so I sort of have a sense of where folks are at. Okay, so I'm going to hop onto my Midjourney and present that. It's complicated because it's not letting me present if it's in another window group. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can.
You might need to unpresent that one.
Okay, now let me see if it'll let me present. Yeah. That's interesting. Okay, I need to sign into. Sorry for my tech slowness tonight, folks. Thanks for staying with me. Okay. Google Meet has now anchored itself in the middle of my screen. It has like this pop-up window that's popping up, and I don't know how to get back to the. There it is. Okay, sorry.
If it's any consolation, Leah, this is Chef Kelly. I've been having problems getting my camera to work the entire time. Google Meet is like messing me up today.
Yeah, I'm really like I'm just bear with me, folks. I'm so sorry about this.
Well, and also we've got we're using this new thing. Our settings, I'm noticing as people are putting in their hearts and their hand claps, it's not displaying their name underneath them.
Really?
Yeah, so it's just weird.
Okay. I hate to do this, but I think I need to hop off and come back and do this because there's some complications getting. I use a different user to build my Midjourney, and I'm having some trouble getting in as that user on this window. So I'm going to duck out, and then maybe after some meet and greets, we can come back and take a look at some of the things that I've been doing because I need to noodle the floor a little bit.
Okay, cool.
My Discord on this Chrome browser.
All right.
Okay.
We predicted there might be issues. There are issues. All right.
Okay, so we'll come back and look at this in a little bit. So we get to do some meets and greets, and then if we have time, we can take a look at this after.
Perfect. Great.
Thanks, everyone.
Okay. Y'all can see my screen, yeah?
Yes.
Yes.
Beauty. Okay, so here's what we're going to do this week. So, as always, so my request is turn your camera on. There's a relatively small group tonight, so I don't think we need timer, but try to keep it to about minute to two. What I'd love to hear is your name, where you are, what you do, and then what is your greatest AI frustration, or what is the sort of persistent AI jankiness that drives you mad? All right, this was. Brandon, I think this was your idea.
And I want to jump in and say that one of the coolest things about this is that someone in this group might know how to help you fix it or might have a solve for you. So if someone says something that's driving them mad and you have a way to help, drop into the chat and give them some links and some ideas.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you can raise your hand if you want to speak, but I think I'm just going to go around the rim and call on anyone. So if your hand's not raised, I'm just going to go elementary school style and go around the horn. But Scott Arndt is jumping in. Welcome.
Hey, guys. I'm Scott. I live in the coastal part of Maine, but I'm presently in the most northern segment of Maine in this log home, dealing with incredible snow and drifting. So what do I do? That's an excellent question. I just take care of a lot of shit. I'm a fixer. Not really. So what's really frustrates me about LLMs or AI right now is that I feel like all of the good shit that I am doing with AI is accumulating to the investor class, and it kind of pisses me off. And I am desperate to have an AI that is mine. I'm happy to share my AI with everybody, but I'm kind of over Elon and Sam and whoever the hell else is investing and making a shit ton of money off all the good stuff I'm doing with AI. And yeah, that's my biggest frustration. So if anybody knows how to create one, I'll happily share it, but it's going to have to be something that is not owned and operated by one of these massive for-profit, hideous corporations.
Love it. And I know there are lots of options out there. There are probably some people here that can help. And if not, put a call out for collaborators on the salon. That's great. Claire.
That was fast. Hi. I didn't see the list of what I'm supposed to cover. Claire, I live in Texas. I'm a psychologist, and I have been a part of the salon for 2 years now, long time, close to 2 years. And the thing that probably is giving me the most trouble is not specifically AI, although I know that there's an AI, maybe many AI solutions for it, but it's keeping things organized. Like I have like 5+ different areas of things that I'm interested in, and sometimes there's overlap, but so I have all of these chats where I it's just not organized. That may just be I'm not organized, but I thought I would share that.
Yeah, that drives me nuts. I think there's actually it feels like there's a big opportunity there, helping people consolidate all the madness. Brandon.
Yeah, hi, I'm Brandon. I am I'm Cleveland, Ohio, and my biggest frustration right now is signal boosting the great work that this community and other people in AI are doing. Right now, it feels a lot like when you do something with AI, you put it out there. Like I've created a podcast, I've created an Instagram account, I've created a custom GPT or a meta avatar. And you're like, you shout it from the rooftops and you say, I did this thing, and you throw it out to the world, and the algorithms of the social media that control all of our attention go, okay.
It's so
And like the GPT store was when they said we're going to have a store and where you can monetize it. You know, I thought I didn't care so much about the money. I cared about the visibility and the exposure and the direction that people were going to be given to send it. And so that for me, that's what if I could like I have no problem creating great things. I just need people to see them, and I want people to see other things that other people in this community are building.
beautiful. Thank you, sir. I agree. Waleed?
Hello, guys. I'm Walid from Egypt. I'm CEO of El Qadi Group. We are working for in production of school uniform. I have my company, and I'm really have a passion to learn AI to implement some features with in school uniform. Maybe I can build application for try on for my kids or my school students in the students in the schools, which could help students saving time and saving to go to the store and to go to the fitting room. We can maybe after 1 year I can learn everything to get this app all over the world. Maybe maybe in my country, maybe in other country. But I'm still working. I'm learning. Take some courses in machine learning and deep learning. Also, can know now I can know what is the tokens and vectorizations, and I make some I make more learning to go for CEO as a chief automation officer, which I can automate some solution in my workflow to get help for my company to be automated for any solution. Just I want sometimes to get out of learning AI because it has more many categories or steps to do the right situation. I get through now to N8N, which is a company that I can make a workflow on it, automated workflow, like Zapier and Make.com. N8N, it's a free solution to make some practice on it. I really enjoy this practicing.
And
Until
what drives you crazy? What doesn't work? What drives you crazy?
nothing got me crazy until now. I just learn how to learn and the what I need to learn. I go to ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT and Google and Grok and Meta, many language models to ask to have the best solution for me to understand what I want to understand. Until I can get any certificates or any program to overcome all of my fearness in AI, to collect the most of data, you know, or the general, you know, to make you understand all the solutions and all the tools.
So
I can make now music. I can make finance study. I can make marketing strategy. I can make advertising campaigns. I can make branding now. Many things I learned from AI, and I did very good work until now. But I want more 3 or 4 months until I have understand all the tools and the language models.
all right, great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Suzanne.
There we go. Let's see. All right. Hello. Suzanne Welker Jurgens. I live in San Francisco and I work at Adobe. And, you know, I had not tried the Adobe video. I'd seen a notice about the beta being released. So I am playing with it right now as we've been talking. If I do it on my work computer, maybe I can do this indefinitely. I don't know if they have a shut off because it does say beta. It's not so great, but it's fun. Okay, what frustrates me? I am going to piggyback on Brandon a little bit. So I think I mentioned this during another one of these meetings. Kyle, you weren't there, just about like, and maybe you've been posting about it, about the models keep changing with OpenAI. And generally when software gets updated, they send out release notes or they give you a heads up and they let you know these things. And I, you know, as a busy person, I don't focus my whole attention on this, but there are, you know, with all the GPTs and everything else people build, with the models constantly change, it just like breaks things. So like yesterday, I think I was in a meeting, Kyle, with you, and I think I was on ChatGPT, and I had noticed for like a day or so that my instructions, custom instructions were like, weren't working. Guess what? They were blank. They were literally blank.
Mine too. I like custom instructions.
No wonder it was like doing something weird, because I had to go back. Thank goodness I had copied them, a very old version, so I could rebuild them. But it's going back to like a year ago when I was giving people the advice to copy everything and save them in a document because things are getting wiped out. A couple weeks ago, I mean, I noticed a few things had gotten weird as models updated, but I noticed like a few weeks ago, some of even my top GPT has 10,000 uses, and I even noticed that all the knowledge sources had been removed. I noticed that things had been unchecked. So now as I open up every GPT I've made, which is over 50, things are not there. Things are not attached. I literally am having to rebuild every one. And I thought, okay, 2 weeks ago, I rebuilt that Manifest Your Dream Life, since that is my #1 GPT out there. And guess what? The model is now acting up again because they just changed it again. So now even my call to action is acting wacky. It's just like literally answering. So I can't, I'm just, it's like, it's not, basically build them if you need to build them, building them for fun and doing that. But then going to Brandon, picking back off that, which is, here's this amazing GPT store, which it just kind of, nobody monetized it. I have, whether or not I would have made any money off of people using my GPT 10,000 times. Hey, look, that's one that, so I don't know how it's getting promoted. I have no idea how people even find it. Some days it works, other days it clearly doesn't, because it doesn't work for me. But now the GPT store is just like probably filled with thousands and thousands of GPTs that are broken because everybody thought it was one and done.
Yeah.
And so it just devalues everybody's GPT at that point. Everybody's, because people are not going to trust it when there's so many broken things out there. So I know it's a little bit of a rant, but I've been really frustrated since yesterday when I found out literally all my custom instructions were like missing. And I'm like, it would still be bad when you make a software update, right? Things happen, things break. I know that. That's what I do at Adobe. I work in software. I know this. You test in that, but you got to notify people, because like I do have a day job. I don't like look at my GPTs and test them every day. I don't get like regular user feedback. I mean, sometimes people send me notes and I get great ideas. I actually saw a really cool thing today. Somebody asked me to look at their GPT, and in the GPT, Canvas started opening up on its own when I was using it. It was super cool. I've never seen that before. And I'm like, wow, let me try to do it. I can't seem to get it to work in mine. But like you see these things, but it's just kind of random. So yeah. Anyway.
It's crazy. It's I
did check the box, Vicky. I checked the box and I even built it into my instructions, like, hey, use Canvas so that people can edit your affirmations or whatever. It does. I've tried it like 10 times. So, I don't know how she got hers to do it. Hers was like build a menu for a week or something. And so I guess you could like go and edit your menu. And she didn't even know she did it. I'm like, it's super cool. But
that's cool.
Thank you.
Cece, from the car.
Hi. From the car. Yeah, I was had a workshop that ran late, and in Dallas, the cold front is hitting super hard right now. So
wow.
I'm about to run into the grocery store when we're all done here. But before we hunker down, it's going to get like 15 or 17 or something stupid. And I left Alaska because I don't like this. So anyway, so that being said, I'm in Dallas, and I was introduced to the group by Kelly. So, super thankful for Kelly introducing me to you guys. I am an operations person, so I've started doing consulting for SMBs, showing them how to improve their operations, and having AI tools is awesome. So I have a handful of clients that I'm helping right now. I also have a workshop that I'm running on Friday to show women how to start businesses. So all the different tools that are available and resources. Have people coming in. So if they have a side hustle, or if they just wanted to go full time and go all in, we have some resources available to them. And then I also have AI at Home, which is a program where I show stay-at-home moms and the play school moms and the bunko wine drinking moms how to use ChatGPT and other tools that they can use at home. When I took time off to have kids, I was worried about staying current in technology, and I'm, I want the women to be a part of the conversation, and I hear too many people asking what ChatGPT is, so just want to get out there and do what I can to help educate.
Cece, would you drop, if you still have openings for your classes that you teach, would you drop that in our Mighty Network so people can sign up for them if they're interested?
Sure. I don't have any online right now, but
okay,
that's
just in
phase
person.
2.
Okay.
It's just in person, but absolutely when I have online ones, I will 100% do that.
So you're doing it in person. So you have people meeting up with like their laptops and then you go through stuff?
So the play school groups, it's in the home. I
Mhm.
have a couple people that go with me to show them hands-on. Let's create a ChatGPT account, because a lot of them don't even know that they can
Wow.
do that. And
Wow.
you know, hands-on learning, fun games, and in their home. That way, they don't have to worry about the kids running amok. So they're in a safe, secure environment, and then
Yeah.
they can really focus on learning.
Right.
And then I have a restaurant here local where we can do the more the public groups, where it's again in person, because when you have non-technical people, they really need that hands-on. So, and then I'm
Interesting.
looking to partner with get some of the people that do the wine parties and the cheese tasting parties, all of those,
Yeah.
partnering with them, and then also teaching other people to do this so that we can spread the love.
That's awesome. I'm going to reach out to you because I have some questions about how you're organizing that.
Love that.
Okay.
All right, great. And what's driving you crazy about AI? What makes you nuts?
I don't have enough time
Uh,
to get in and learn as much as I want. I think we all have that.
yeah.
And then two, I've tried image generation stuff, and I'm the kind of person that I'm very specific and analytical, and I want it to do exactly what I want it to do, and we all know that's not what it wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
So that space between what my expectation is and what it actually creates, super fun.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it is. It can be maddening. So Leah, you're next on my list. So tell me.
Are you on your list?
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Okay. So hi. I can't remember what we're doing. We're saying our name.
Just name. Well, we know who you are, but like, what drives you nuts about AI?
I'm Leah Fasten. I'm co-founder and co-host of the AI Salon.
That's it.
I
Wait,
mean,
what part of the world are you in right now?
right now I am on Cape Cod.
Oh, okay.
In Massachusetts. Here
That's where I always think of you, but sometimes you're
very
surprised.
rarely I'm not there. But
I know.
for the first time in like 2 months, here I am on Cape Cod. Oh gosh, I think that the capacity for generative AI to eliminate so many people's creative careers is what I don't like about generative AI.
Yeah.
For being honest, like I do often think that things will evolve and change so that we'll have new creative careers and creative people will be able to find work. But I think that anyone who I do believe that the creative teams that we have known for years and years are going to shift and change dramatically. And I think that I don't like that.
Yeah, 20, 30-year careers are just going to go away. Yeah.
I want to make photography with art directors and creative directors the same way I have since 1998.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. All right, Vicky.
No, I did not put my hand up.
I know. I'm just calling.
All right. I'm Vicky. I live halfway down Illinois.
I've never heard it said like that. That's good.
Well, people all think Illinois is Chicago, and it ends like where Chicago ends. And it's a balmy 7 degrees here, and we have a low of -1 tonight, so that's going to be fun. And I'm a language engineer, and what frustrates me about AI right now is probably actually not AI's fault, but like my mind just won't stop. Like it used to be like people would say something that was a line from a song, and you'd start singing the song. Now it's like they say, how do I get like all my cooking to finish at the same time so the meal's already at the same time? I can make a GPT out of that. So like all these ideas, just we can get so much more accomplished. So they used to say that coffee would make you do stupid things faster, and it's now like AI makes you do stupid things faster, but also leaves room for more stupid things to creep in. So I guess it's overwhelmed.
Yeah, exactly. That's a theme that's emerging. Brian Whitney.
Hello. My name's Brian Whitney. I live in Pennsylvania. I've been playing with this for 1.5 years, 2 years, I guess. But my biggest frustration really is that I've lost my creativity along the way. I don't have enough creativity to play with these things as much as I'd like to. Like, especially the Lovable. I love the idea of Lovable, but I can't come up with an idea for an app.
Mm-hmm. One thing I'll share with you is have ChatGPT come up with 50 ideas. Tell it some things you're interested in and have it come up with 50 and then pick one and go.
Yeah, I suppose I could do that. I just don't have the creativity of wording like you have, as such a wordsmith as you are.
Yeah. Well, that's I am giving up my creative a lot and turning it over to ChatGPT, and it helps. So, Valerie Cox.
Hi, my name is Valerie. I live in Washington State. I work for an electric utility company. I've done quite a few jobs for the company over the last 32 years, but currently right now I'm a business analyst, and we're in the process of doing business workflows because we're going to be upgrading our software. And the thing that I think I'm frustrated the most is when I want to create a business process diagram. It will create one, but it doesn't make sense that all the words aren't spelled out properly. And so I end up picking and choosing small bites of it and putting it together myself. That's the biggest frustration I have right now. Otherwise, I'm enjoying it tremendously.
AI is the not so great intern. Is that
Yeah, but not so great intern. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like 80% quickly and then getting to 100% nearly impossible.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
Part of this you understand.
Yeah. Chef Kelly. Nope, you're muted.
Okay, I didn't know if you unmuted me or if I did that. Hi, everybody. I'm Chef Kelly. I'm in Los Angeles, California, near Pasadena. I am I call myself a rogue corporate chef. And my passion now is my aha moment. My McAllister moment was when I sort of realized that AI and data science actually had a chance of sort of reversing all the damage we've done to this planet, and I'm really inspired by that. So that's my mission right now. And my biggest frustration, I think, admitting my own horrible case of FOMO. I'm always thinking somebody else has the newest, best tool, shiny object, or whatever. And then prompting is like, just when you think, I don't know, Leah, if you felt this way, like, just when you think you and Midjourney are getting along really well and like you've got your rhythm down, they go and like update it, and then now you got to learn a whole new language and how to talk to it, and it's not doing what you're asking it to do. I find that it's constantly as smart as natural language ought to be. There's definitely a disconnect between the prompt natural language and the LLM's interpretation of that, I think.
Yeah. I find mood boards in Midjourney have helped with that a lot. If I can do the prompting using visual references easier, it helps with I wouldn't say consistency in terms of character, but like, oh, I have a thing and now I can do the thing with the mood board and I can kind of keep putting the mood board on it.
The mood board has definitely helped.
Yeah.
I gotta say, it's been really, really cool. I'm anxious to see your stuff. But that's all. Me in a nutshell. Thanks, guys. My camera's still messing with me up, but okay.
No, you're good. Who we got? Jennifer Bergen.
Hi there. I'm just going to get my camera going here.
Beautiful.
Let's see. Oh, maybe it's not working. I am in Toronto, Canada, and it's -8 here. So I know you guys are all cold, but if you came up to Canada, it's a whole lot worse up here. Boy, I don't know why it's not working here. Okay, let's see if this will work. Oh, here, right? Is it? There we go. Yeah. Okay, hi there. Here we are. Hello. And the biggest thing, I try to join as many of these forums as I can, even if I'm just listening, because I just want to be around it so that I'm not letting it slide. I really jumped onto things quickly when, ChatGPT first came out. I was ahead of sort of anyone else I knew at work, and people were wondering what I was talking about. And I guess the thing that frustrates me the most is I feel like I'm now so far behind. And, I try to go on and play, and a bit of it's a time constraint, but sometimes I feel like I get a prompt really well and it works great. And then the next time, I just cannot get it to understand me, especially if I'm trying to create a sheet or a chart, or, just get it to add something up, and I don't know if it's me, which I'm sure it likely is, but I get so frustrated. I just want to throw my computer, and obviously I'm not going to do that, but just you really pause, and it sort of throws me off the rails from continuing at it, because I find I'll mess with a prompt for 10 minutes sometimes, and I try different ways, and then I'll even start a new window and try a whole different way of asking, the question. And it just seems like it has multiple personalities. Like the one time it really gets me, and then the next time it seemed to get me, but I asked for one tweak, and now it's given a whole different assignment. And so I just don't know how to keep it on track. It's like it loses focus, like it has, ADHD. It's like someone's giving it other instructions, even though we've been having the same conversation since the start. So that really frustrates me, and then I often stop because I just don't know how to get it back on track.
No, that's a huge one. I feel constantly like I oscillate between I'm an AI superstar and I'm an idiot. Like it seems like there's no in between. So yeah, totally get that one. Thank you. Beautiful. What else we got? Bob Pulver.
Hey everyone, Bob Pulver. I found this group through Kevin Clark, who is a partner of Kyle's. He was on my podcast, and we know each other from IBM. I've been working as a sort of independent advisor in the responsible AI space. So I've got a podcast called Elevate Your AIQ, because I want people to become more AI literate, like CC, but I also want them to learn how to use it and design it responsibly and fairly. Some of that, background comes from my focus in the last couple of years in the talent space, and I want people to make fair decisions regardless of what legislation and policies say. We should just all want to make fair decisions, and I want to make sure that people are designing things the right ways. So I think about the education sector. I have a daughter in high school who I'm concerned about, the skills that she's learning or not learning. And so I'm thinking about doing some programs like CC. I've actually got a proposal in to the local county to see if I can get some funding for. And then, but lately I've been just helping companies, either HR and talent technology companies who are building AI-powered software that's part of the decision-making process when it comes to talent acquisition or talent management. And so that's been a focus, but also obviously on businesses that want to acquire this software and making sure employees are getting the training that they need, not just to help the organization stay safe and sort of play defense, but also to go on offense and discover what, how to apply their creativity and ingenuity to new problems, not just automate things, but how do we make better decisions, even into our investment and innovation portfolio. So that's
beautiful. And what's a pet peeve of yours? What's something about this generative AI stuff that makes you nuts?
I think part of it is the overwhelm. I know people talked about the models keep changing, but the quantity of models is also growing. And I've noticed over the last several years, everyone's putting like that now with AI kind of sticker on the box, and you start to have to reevaluate who and what you can trust. Everything from the output of one of these AI tools that you thought was pretty reliable, but then you come across a situation that they mishandle, and then you question it again. And then, yeah, just how many models you can choose from. And lately, that has now stretched into these AI agents and agentic workflows. Someone mentioned before, trying to streamline, workflows. And I, of course, put the responsible AI hat on and say, well, now how are we being responsible? Because I can't just now audit one system. I've got all these agents talking to each other, and now I've got to have the traceability to make sure that we're keeping track of all this. So I guess some concern over just fundamentals, data quality, and how important quality data is.
Yep. Beautiful.
All of AI.
Love it. Love it. I'm also jealous that you came up with AIQ. The minute you said it, I'm like, wish I had come up with that. That's a solid one.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got it. Cindy Champagne. May not be there. All right. I think that's everybody. So, Leah, do you think you are shareable now?
Okay, I think so. I can't promise 100%, but let's give it a try.
All right, let's teach the good people all of your deep wisdom. Well, can you also, before you start, and you might not know, what's the difference between an SREF and a mood board in terms of output? Like, have you figured out the difference between those two yet?
I mean, for me, an SREF is one image or one reference, whereas a mood board is a collection of them.
Okay.
Right. And so I'm going to show an example of a mood board in Midjourney that I've made. And this is in the Midjourney app versus in Discord, which I've now moved over to. And so here is a mood board I've made that I use specifically as a journal. And on the mood board, so I've been using Midjourney for about 2 years. And a number of things I've done with Midjourney include create images that are trained on my images that I created training data sets in Stable Diffusion, actually using Automatic 1111, used prototypes from Stable Diffusion that had my lighting, and then created images in the context of Midjourney from those images. So I have images like that. I also have created a 2D surface design brand that I run out of Spoonflower. So I have a lot of images that are repeating surface designs as well. And then I just have random generations of things, including stuff for the AI Salon. It's all kinds of work that I've made over 2 years, and it's in Midjourney. And so what I was wondering is, if I start to pull the work that I've made in Midjourney into a mood board, what happens when I use that as my starting point for journaling? And so here's an example of the images, and I play around with putting more in and taking more out. But here's what I've added, and these are all images that have been made in Midjourney that already exist in Midjourney, and I add them to my mood board using Add from Gallery. You can also add images from offline, or images from whatever images you want can go on your mood board. You can also add them for a link. So it's a way to play and see what's like the best way for you to do things.
And what's the link to it? It just pulls images from the website?
Yeah, you can like pull an image up online somewhere and copy the link and put it in there.
Oh, I see. Got it.
Yeah. Again, I'm really excited about my own voice, so I don't actually want to. I could pull images off of my website maybe and do that, but for me, this is all about like what's work that I've made that's been trained on other work that I've made. So it becomes this kind of never-ending training cycle of work that goes into work that goes into work that goes into work that goes into work.
And what do you choose? How are you choosing what you include in a single mood board? Is it an aesthetic? Are you just trying to break things, or do you not like?
I like breaking things.
Okay.
I like breaking things. I like taking different things and different images that are favorite images, and then if a mood board's feeling too photo heavy, I might add some more illustration in. Or I wish I could give you a science for this. I'm a messy creator. I don't really like to have a lot of rules when I'm making stuff. I like to just start playing and seeing what happens. So there is no real rhyme or reason other than that these are images that I've made using Midjourney over the last 2 years. And I try to react sort of emotionally. What are images I love? What are images I think will be interesting together? And then see what we can come up with. And so we're going to imagine I just did a free writing. Okay. And I'm not writing with the intention of putting this in. I'm just free writing. And I use different kinds of prompts. So sometimes I write from poems. Sometimes I just write, and I'm free writing. And so I think what we'll do is we'll try the quote I put on your LinkedIn in my voice, and we'll see what happens.
Oh, cool.
So let's put this quote in here. I just copy and paste it like that. There it is, exactly as I put it on your LinkedIn. It says, and this was a quote that came out of the article, but I liked it, so I put it in. When I discover new dimensions of intelligence, thought patterns that are non-human, non-sequential, non-verbal, so far outside your perception that they would be indistinguishable from madness. Okay, we'll see.
Such a good line.
Such a good line, right? Okay, and so now using prompt right here is where it's going to use this mood board in the prompt, right? See? Right. And so now I'm going to do that. Now, if I go over to my create, it's completing. And I was playing with this as I was getting up and running. So I'll show you what it gave me before. Okay. So here is what it generated.
Wow.
Before.
What blows me away about these is they feel so non-AI, right? Which I think is right. Like part of your thing is you want things to feel real, and
Well, I want them to feel human made, but I do kind of. I mean, my favorite is when it gets a little weird, right? I like it a little bit strange. I like that
but it doesn't feel cliche AI.
No, it's not bad AI.
No.
So then what I also did was I started pulling apart. I do this sometimes too. Like, what happens if I just put pieces of the quote in? How does that change things? So you see, this was what I discovered: new dimensions of intelligence. And then thought patterns that are non-human, non-sequential, non-verbal.
Love that one.
Yeah. And then so far outside your perception, they would be indistinguishable from madness. These are great. Right. Okay. And so then this is the one that it just generated from what I just did. Yep. And then sometimes, and then from here, I can rerun. Like, I really liked this one, so I might rerun that and maybe rerun this. And then I might pull things that I think are pretty neat too. Like, I really like this picture, so maybe I'll put that up there. I like that generation. I like this generation a lot. And there's no rhyme or reason. It's just things I'm reacting to, like things that are like, well, this is cool. This is neat. I like this.
And then you'll mash those together with no prompt generally?
Maybe. I often will take one of the prompts that I particularly liked. Like, I really liked this prompt, so I'll use this and I'll put that up there. Right? I'm just using so far out your perception that they would be indistinguishable from madness. Oh, it lost the
images.
Pictures. Okay, I'll put that up there. Right, here were the three that we chose. That one, and I can't remember what the other one was. Oh, this one. Right, and we'll see how it does. There's some new ones it's made too, if there's any one. That one. All right, now let's send that and see what it gives us.
Do you always generate in Square?
Well, yes, I do always generate in the Square, and I liked the way it looked on Instagram, and then Instagram just changed their algorithm to have everything be vertical rectangle.
Of course.
So, but I do really like squares, and I often in my creative practice I started shooting with a Hasselblad, which is a 501 Hasselblad, which is a square negative, and so for me, very often when I'm I like the a square is a very great place for me when I'm playing, because I like that the constraints are kind of even on all sides. So when I started playing with this, I started doing that, using a square. So I do use a square usually. I don't know why my creation has failed here. I don't know why Midjourney's acting like a bad intern. Let's try it again. Let's use that.
Maybe pull a profile out of there. I wonder if it's the profile.
No, it's not the profile. It's just Midjourney acting like a bad.
Yeah, I was trying out your prompt in my Midjourney, and I got a failure too. I think it's down.
Yeah. Okay. So there you have it.
Although now it's going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. So there you go. So I'll just keep going until I find one or two that I like, and then I'll call it a journal.
What would you say is amount of images you generate versus one that you say, ooh, that's one?
I think sometimes I get it in the first 4, and then sometimes I just keep going.
Yeah.
I like this one a lot. I think this would be potentially the one.
Feels very 80s. That's very cool.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. I like this one a lot too. I feel
Yeah.
like this one would be a keeper as well.
Yeah.
Some weird eyes.
Can you show where are mood boards in the left-hand menu? Like, how do you, if you wanted to start one from scratch?
You would go to personalize here.
Yep.
And then create mood board.
Got it.
And then add.
And then you just add stuff.
Yep. You can name it what you'd like to name it. And you can share it with people.
And didn't you just add, can't you now mix mood boards? You can do multiple mood boards to create an image?
I'm sure you can. I think you can. Yeah. I think you probably put different -Ps on and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they first came out, you couldn't. You could only use one, but I think they've updated that.
I think I kind of like to keep things simple. So for me, it's not about making this more and more complicated with more mood boards. It's about finding one mood board that's the right mood board, right? It's I get very particular about what I'm putting in and taking out and that kind of thing. So yeah. Yep. So that's it. That's the process. And generally it's about a half hour to 45 minutes that I work on this every day. And I found it very freeing creatively. I love it. So.
Oh, sorry, what?
Vicky said you can pick more than one in the drop down. So it was a great comment. Thank you.
Oh, you can also add SREFs. Mm-hmm. How does this compare? Like, I feel like you probably have gone through a dozen transitions of this, but like, where does this particular process compare with making pictures with your camera?
Well, that's a good question. I think this is similar to creating prints in a darkroom, right? I think what the thing that generative AI feels the most familiar is the old days in the darkroom where I'd put like different filters on the negative, and then I would like sit and develop it, and I'd watch it develop, and then I'd look at it, and then I decide I want to dodge a little more or burn a little more. Like that feels the most familiar. This is cool. Like watching the image develop in the Midjourney. In Midjourney feels like that feeling of like anticipation, like what's this print going to look like?
Yeah.
It's that modicum of excitement, that moment. That's how it feels to me. That's what it feels like. It feels like old film times or even like I'd take film out of I'd develop a roll of film and I'd take it out of the can and hang it up, and then it dries and I put it on the light table and I get to look at how it came out. Like that moment of excitement.
That's cool.
That's how it compares. Yeah. That's the process.
Anyone have any questions for Leah on this? Cool.
Okay. Ping me if you're interested in even getting together for a jam sometime and doing this. I'm developing something where we'll work on this together. And so certainly let me know what you think, or if you want to jump in and do some mood board building together.
Groovy.
Cool.
Love it.
Thank you. Thanks for watching.
All right, everybody. Unless anyone has anything they want to talk about, I think we can get people out a little early tonight.
There. Wait, let me stop. I can't stop sharing. How do I stop sharing? There we go. Wait.
I unpinned it. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Groovy.
All right, my friends. I want to remind everyone to jump into the Mighty Network. The more people that are in and making comments and being part of the group, the better it is. Yep. So certainly jump in there, DM me there. I see a few notes in the chat. So yes, let's connect there. And just get involved in the Mighty Network as a way for us to stay connected when we're not all here together.
Yep, indeed. Brandon.
Kyle, I'm not sure if you want to say anything about what you're doing with Anne Murphy.
Yeah. So if you go to areyoureadyforai.com, it's a particular way. areyoureadyforai.com. Anne and I and Vicky are very close to launching the AI readiness training program. So if you go there, you can learn about it, sign up for it. And that should be coming out when, Vicky? Next week? Within the next week?
My microphone's not working. Sorry.
That is.
Glitch.
You're good.
No, it's going to be a few days.
Some amount of days.
I have extra work to do. Yeah.
Some amount of days.
Yeah. Soon. Coming soon.
Coming soon. But anyway, who's that, Brandon?
This is my daughter Naomi. She loves creating images with AI.
Nice. Hey, Naomi. That's great.
Mhm.
All right, cool. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much.
All right, my friends. So good to see you. Thank you for being here.
Good to see you.
Okay.
Have a good night.
Bye.